Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Unfortunately, it's a little less happy because Naomi Osaka has chosen to withdraw from the United States Open. This popped up on the screen approximately 5 minutes ago. She said in this quote from NBC, "I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction. More importantly, I would never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that." And if you recall the US Open in 2018, Serena Williams, and that was the US Open, right? And I don't know, and I think the shock of the reaction of beating her, as well as the reaction of Serena, I think really got to her, and as well as all of the other events after that, particularly the George Floyd incident and her, like many, activism against what she saw. And you have to remember, she's young, and she decided to represent as you can see, there's the Japan flag behind her rather than the United States. I think she did so for a reason that I don't think is directly focused on this, but I certainly think it's part of it. It adds up to a place where she's the leading female earner, and has earned a lot of money at a very remarkably short amount of time, about $40 million. And she's trying to process it all. That's how I read it. I'd love to know what you think. She's trying to process it all. There's certain things I can't show in motion because that's a copyright claim that NBC would slap on, certainly. But I'm really disappointed. I was going to make a video blog. I'm here discussing with my mom because we were watching the French Open when this popped up, and here in Georgia. And I was going to make a video blog saying that she should copy Marshawn Lynch, who would just say, "I'm just here so I don't get fined," make a game out of it. But maybe it's not too late for her to do that. Maybe she could reconsider. But let me see what other news is on here about that. That's really sad news because she's such a gift, not just to the sport of tennis, but to the world society. And I say that because much of our exposure to what happens now is international, right? And here it is on, right here. Here it is on Twitter. If I point that way, it says, Naomi Osaka withdraws from the French Open 22 minutes ago. And so if we click on this here, it reads, Naomi Osaka announced Monday. This is stuff that you already know now about it. And it says she was fined $15,000 because she would not participate in any news conference in Roland Garros to protect her mental health. And they did not respect that. If she doesn't want to field questions from people in media, fine. And I think we got to get away from this idea in an era of news commentary that they have to make themselves available to the press. They should, because the press today, about 50% of the time consists of people who have no idea what they're going to ask, or they ask questions that are deliberately stupid to gain clicks or ratings. And if a person is not well in their thinking and admits that they're not, why subject them to that? So I'm 1,000,000,000% with Naomi in that decision. If she doesn't want to deal with it, she doesn't need the money. That's the other that's the other statement she's making. She doesn't need the money so bad you know, mom, she doesn't need the money so bad that she has to go through emotional abuse, because that's essentially what they are asking her to do. So I, for one, I really endorse her decision. I really do. Let me see what else is here. See what the reactions are. And it says, in the wake of her infringement of mandatory media interviews. Well, they shouldn't be mandatory. And she should have some way of issuing pre-statements if she wants to. This, on Twitter, she left 1 hour ago. And this is a very, very long statement that I'm going to read to you because of its importance. But it goes like this. Hey, everyone. This isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days ago. I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction, and I accept that my timing was not ideal and my message could have been clearer. More importantly, I would never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is that I have suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018, and I have had a really hard time coping with that. Anyone that knows me knows I'm introverted, and anyone that has seen me at the tournaments will notice that I'm often wearing headphones, as that helps dull my social anxiety. Though the tennis press has always been kind to me, and I want to apologize especially to all the cool journalists who I may have hurt, I am not a natural public speaker and get huge waves of anxiety before I speak to the world's media. I get really nervous and find it stressful to always try to engage and give you the best answers I can. There's more here. For some reason it's not scrolling, or maybe that's it. Maybe she's left off there. Let me try to see if, it picks up here. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious. So I thought it was better to exercise self-care and skip the press conferences. I announced it preemptively because I do feel like the rules are quite outdated in parts, and I wanted to highlight that. I wrote privately to the tournament apologizing and saying that I would be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament, as the slams are intense. I'm gonna take some time away from the court now, but when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans. Anyways, hope you are doing well and staying safe. Love you guys. I'll see you when I see you. And there that is. Look, again, I don't know what you think. I endorse what she did. And I keep saying this, that there are some practices that prop up a 20th century approach to media. They could have simply understood what she said and said, hey, can we meet with you to make some pre-recorded statements, and we can put them on our YouTube channel, and that'll serve as your comments for the press for the tournament until much time as you're ready to go live, if you're ready at all. No, in other words, no pressure, right? But instead of doing that, they find her, then they got into this big criticism thing with, let's at least hear what's being said. I can't show you, but let's hear it, okay?
Realize mental health, or use the term lightly. Truth is, and this is the killer, I have suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018. Had a really hard time coping with that. And with that, Osaka withdraws from this year's French Open.
I'll show you just a little bit of this.
She needs time, clearly. She needs space.
See?
But Wimbledon's only 4 weeks away. John, what do you think? Is she going to be okay?
Well, it's hard to know what to think. Again, given the history of our sport and what's gone on in the past with so many players that have struggled with this and paid the price, to me, in a big way, and not been taken care of the way they could have or should have been. The hope is that in this case, Osaka bringing mental health to the forefront will help all concerned.
Yeah.
Not just her, who we hope will be okay, others that suffer through it, and the sport in general. Just my thoughts. Shocking.
All right, John. For the remainder of today's sentence, you can tune over now to the tennis channel. We'll be back on Saturday. Third round action from Roland Garros at noon Eastern here on NBC. And then continue.
We have Serena Williams at
a brand new episode of America,
soon.
American
It's at 3:14. So, hold on a second. No, Serena Williams is supposed to play at 3 o'clock today. It's 3:14.
Oh, it's 3:40, I thought.
Oh, it starts at 3:40?
I think so.
I was saying it's 3:14 now. That's all. So anyway, well, that's the news, folks. I'll be back with some follow-up on that. If you have any comments, I haven't seen anybody type anything. Please leave them in the comment area. Quite shocking. I think that Marshawn Lynch should call her, or at least on Twitter say, hey, I'm with you. She doesn't want to appear. She doesn't want to appear. That's that. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. And happy Memorial Day, happy day wherever you are in the world. That ends this broadcast.